The hammer and sickle. When people see this symbol, they mostly think of things like communism, socialism, and the USSR. And it's true that lots of communist organizations down the years have used this symbol in their logos. But in this video, I want to ask why the hammer and sickle? What's the history and the meaning behind this symbol? Well, it goes back to this design, which was designed after a competition was held in the USSR in 1917 following the Russian Revolution that led to a communist government being installed, and they needed a symbol to represent their new communist country. And so Lenin held a competition, and this design was the winner, and this was then implemented onto lots of different designs and ultimately also the flag. Now, this can obviously be divided into two parts, which is the hammer and the sickle, and both have certain significances to them. For example, the hammer that's being used is a representation of industrial workers, while the sickle that's being used is a representation of agricultural workers. Now, this also then correlates to the industrial workers living in the city and the agricultural workers living out in the countryside. And this was then a symbol that people from the countryside and the city, the working classes from both, joined together to form one class, which is ultimately one of the aims of the early communist movement, to forge a solidarity between the workers, and the hammer and the sickle was the symbol that symbolized this coming together of the two. There's also a theory that the hammer is representing men, it's more masculine symbol, whereas the sickle is often shown as being the peasant girls use on the land as well. So there's also that second layer to it. And this obviously made it onto the flag of the USSR. Now, you might be wondering, obviously on this flag the background is red, and red is an important colour for socialism and communism and labour movements. So why is this the case? Why is red used so often? Well, this really goes back to the French Revolution, and as you can see, the very famous image of the French Revolution, many of the revolutionaries wore cockades and hats. The berets and bonnets that they wore were often red. This goes back even to the colours of Paris, one of the colours being red to represent St. Denis and St. Martin. And as well, this was used in a flag by the Paris Commune of 1871, which also then obviously led further down the line to the communist movement, and is often linked together as a very, very early form, a similar idea that went on there. So they decided to use red as this colour of protest, which then led into it becoming an important symbol for socialists and communists as well, and why it made it onto the flag of the USSR. So thank you very much for watching. This has just been a quick video in my sort of symbol series as to why they use the hammer and sickle for communist iconography and things like this. I do hope you've enjoyed it. Please do remember to give me a thumbs up if you did like it, comment anything down below, and as well, if you are subscribed, then please hit the little bell icon, because I think people are having issues seeing the videos popping up. That would really help me out. So thank you very much. A huge thank you again to the guys and lasses out on Patreon who are helping us there. That's really great. So thank you very much. I've been History with Hilbert, and I'll see you all again very soon.